Good afternoon, everyone. This is probably going to be a slightly different presentation to anything we've seen today. What I'd like to do is just share with you a journey that we've taken over the last 2 or 3 years, which is motivated in a slightly different way and hopefully is more proactive, quite possibly, than many other businesses in our situation. So Dailycer, we are actually based in North Wales. We're a cereals business, manufacturing business that combines operations in France and North Wales. In terms of our factory in North Wales, we employ about 138 people. Our turnover for the two businesses is 125 million. And in terms of capability, we can make bars, cereals, and also some tonnages from France. From our customer perspective, we have customers in UK retail, Australia, and also we have obviously a business in Europe. In terms of our standards of the factory itself, we have an A-star 2014 BRC rating, and I've actually had that sort of level for the last 6 years. This is a product range, pretty much a wide range of cereals, a combination of the different factories, different capabilities, but really importantly, we're a private label only business. We have no brand offering or alternative at all, which means that in terms of our business is very much about customer-specific solutions. We're looking at product quality, we're looking at people quality, food safety, food standards. That's more of what we do. But we have to be very agile because, to be honest, the nature of our customers, they could double or triple their orders tomorrow, and the expectation is we are there, ready, and can deliver. But what's really important to us is we nurture. Our people are extremely important to us. We still have a huge value of the people that work with us. And regarding what do we do less, not surprisingly, in terms of product innovation, we're a Me Too private label business. In terms of actually promoting our products, promoting what we do, being in the sustainability agenda, I mean, what is the actual value proposition of Dailycer being in the sustainability agenda? But actually what we don't do at all is ever advertise the company. Where did sustainability kick in? It's actually 2011. We had a survey from Weir Consultancy who actually placed Dailycer in out of 4 categories in the advanced category with a score of 62%. So if you put that in front of a set of shareholders who at that time were based in Germany, they would say, oh, we don't have to do anything about sustainability, not really interested. However, 3 things happened. The first one in 2010, we had a shocking wheat harvest in Europe. In 2011 early, we had the Queensland floods. And then in the belief that there's 3 points in a straight line, that's my daughter, by the way, you'd be surprised, she was 9 years of age. We went to Bath, and I was standing in the Roman baths in Bath, and I'm thinking, so this thing here has been here for 2,000 years. Can we guarantee what we've got will be here for 2,000 years? But what was slightly difficult is that if you look at that background, and I've been very fortunate in my career to work for some fantastic businesses. Basically, I'm a bean counter in drag, which means when it comes to sustainability, it's very difficult to have any expertise. I'm probably the least qualified sustainability person in this room. Yes, I've worked in different positions. Yes, I've worked in different industries, which is obviously really fortunate. But to be quite honest, I thought, okay, sustainability, let's have a go at this, or let's at least have a look. The other thing that I really needed to consider was our position as a business. So down the left-hand side are our main customer groups. Now, each of them has a slightly different position, slightly different proposition for sustainability. Down the right-hand side, we have our supply and also the different types of business risks that we have just like anyone else and challenges we have like anyone else. So sitting in the middle with Dailycer, you could end up having to juggle and manage, which would make us extremely inefficient. So as a consequence, the idea, and you can see it there, it's very simple, it's more from less. It's pretty much what everyone's saying, it's pretty much what it's about, and the idea is to reduce the inputs and increase the outputs. But I go back to my time, and one of the companies you saw in there was Toyota. And the thing about Toyota, if you work in Toyota for a couple of years, you know how you're supposed to do things, and it stays with you. I'm very fortunate to have worked for that business, but it stays with you. And one of the things that stays with you is Kaizen, or continuous improvement. You've probably heard this loads of times. But actually that piece in the middle is pretty much what it's about. Continually improve your business and reset standards as you grow. So taking that in mind, the first thing you do in my position is down the bottom left-hand corner, you want to grasp the situation. So what is sustainability? Ask 20 guys in here and you'd all have a slightly different answer, as Gavin said earlier. And then from there, try to get other people involved, try to join in to understand my knowledge better, see what we can do with strategy and actually get something moving, get some results moving, and continue around that cycle. This is what you see when you get new to sustainability, and that's just a portion of what you see. I didn't know that the Welsh Government was only one of 3, okay, we'll call it nations, that actually have sustainability as a legal requirement. Did anyone else know that? But then if you look at the various different bodies, everybody's helping. Everybody wants to help. Everybody wants to set targets. Everybody wants to contribute. But if you're a guy standing there, that's a hell of a lot to try and grasp, and it's a hell of a lot to try and take in. And to be quite honest, it becomes quite a lot like fog or snow blindness. You know, we can look at the different organisations, the different targets, but also looking at the different responsibilities, looking at the different types of things that people are doing. All fantastic stuff, but where do you go from there? So, not surprisingly, the grey cells had to get to work. It was extremely difficult. But actually, if you actually looked at it, yeah, there's a business case. Yes, it's confusing, but it's quite interesting, something new. Our business, we want to be what you would call a partner of choice. We're very straightforward. We want our employers to want to work for us. We want our suppliers to want to supply to us. We want our customers to want to come and buy from us. But interestingly, genuinely, when I looked around, everyone adds it to their proposition. So our brand proposition, we are more sustainable. I don't advertise my company. So what does that add to my brand proposition? And it's a huge time commitment. As a private label business, it's great, it's fun, it's really energetic, it's really dynamic, but the vast majority of people do 1.5 jobs. I do 2 jobs, for example. So from that, that's the nature of the business. And there's a huge gap in expertise. But effectively, when I looked at it, are we looking to reduce our energy? Are we looking to involve ourselves in the local community? We are doing that. We are doing that because we're trying to, okay, it's not because of sustainability, it's because of finance, but we're doing it. So we're actually on the way. But ultimately, one of the things that you do have to overcome is, okay, fine, what difference does that all make? Does it make a difference, really? But if you don't try it, you're never going to know. So we decided to find out. It was said earlier, and quite rightly so, we've moved on from the 3 pillars, but it took me 6 months to work this bit out, to be honest. So we got to a situation where we're going to pick the 3 pillars: economics, environment, social. The main aspect, to be honest with you, from the economic was about the technical capability. And the one thing that really gave us a chance, and I talked earlier about the different propositions with the different customers, is the Food and Drink Federation, the 5-fold environmental ambition. That was something that a company in our position was able to say, right, okay, we can stand behind that. That gives us a framework, and that also gives us a credibility when we go out to the marketplace to say that we're doing something that's current and moving forward. So actually, I joined the Sustainability Steering Group. Inder and Gavin, who've presented you today, were members. They were very nice to me. I knew nothing. I just sat there and took notes for about 3 months. But anyway, they welcomed me in, which was obviously very promising. But also we need to look at the commodity issue, which was one of my major concerns. The people bit, to be honest, was the easy bit, because we had a really engaged team that wanted to get involved in that. So in terms of what sort of thing have we done? Economic, yes, we grew 2011. Yes, we did improvements with our portfolio, but our company went through an M&A programme in 2012, which basically stopped everything. 2013, new owners, we're 15% more efficient, and actually we start to extend the capability in the UK. Talking about the Welsh Government, they put a few quid in, helped us out, and we've now got a new investment programme going on. The French plant has got new operational lines. We're 10% more efficient, and actually we're moving forward as we go. So really much it's a turnaround from that point of view. The environmental stuff, I was speaking to somebody earlier, and Richard, it was from Mars, and what he said to me was, don't look for the big picture, and I think it's been said a couple of times, don't look for the big picture, just get on with it. Create some momentum and get on with it, just get it moving. And if you look at lots of things there, they're all just management systems, people talking to each other, putting it on the table. And so from that point of view, things like Green Team, it's really great when someone comes to you, says, you know what, can I lead the Green Team, please? This is a team of 130 people, and this woman's already doing 2 jobs, and she wants to do something else. That's great to see that, because that's what it's about, creates energy. Yes, we did surveys. Yes, we've done the palm oil and the RSPO. So from the environment point of view, I think we have moved on to a certain degree. These are the results. Truth be told, We didn't even measure carbon footprint in 2010. We ISO 14001. What's carbon footprint? Don't even know how to calculate it. And this is the scale of the challenge that business come into this topic are. Yeah, it's great, it's 22% better, fantastic. However, you could argue there's bound to be a volume aspect in that. If I took the volume out of that, it's probably about 15% better. But the key for me, and I'll say something later, it's better. It's not about what the number is, it's about it's better. And that's really the important thing, because that's where we're creating some traction. I'll go through this. Basically, RSPO, the reason I put this on is, the reason I want to call this proactive was that we're always trying to be ahead of the game. Because when you're a relatively small business, especially when your competitors are big, strong, healthy, chunky businesses, one of the things you want to be is you don't want to be the little guy. You just want to be the same as them. We've got the power, we've got the energy, and we've got the expertise, so why not? So we, ahead of time, have made sure that we very much endorse this and very much be part of this process. And the social bit, this is probably one of the funnest, because actually this is the fun thing. When you see little Johnny standing there and he's having a smile, and actually the picture in the middle is someone called Chloe who designed a cereal box, and we got it mocked up with our packaging supplier who happens to be next door. It's a little strawberry man on the front, fantastic. And the one down the bottom, I don't know if there's any product developers in here, but that's a croissant cereal bar. So if you want to take that on, it's free, you can have that. Regarding festivals, we engaged in the local community. So from that point of view, it's just trying to move everything forward. Where are we going? I won't bore you with that, but the key point is it says 14, 15, 16, so we're still going. So the idea is we are going to take it forward. The idea we are going to move across these three aspects. I might nick the idea of the 6, I have to be honest, but the principle is we're going to try and move this forward and develop this forward as we go. That's the important thing. Now this is a slightly different picture, and this comes to the real heart. You can see that the brown arrow there, that's Dailycer UK. That's where we are. 2 doors down, by the way, is Iceland, if anyone's interested. Look at the other greys on that map. They're all other businesses. Dailycer said there's 4 industrial parks that actually employ 9,000 people. Hugely manufacturing oriented. And so, but what's really interesting is look at the scale of all these different businesses. So we talked about learnings. For me, one of my sayings, to be honest with you, is every day is a school day. But one of the things I would definitely say is we need to help people access this, it needs to be more simple. We need to try and find a way of simplifying the content. I sat in a meeting once for 3 hours discussing how something was calculated on a different margin. I don't really care how it's calculated. Calculate it and make it better. Create some momentum, create some energy. That's just my view. It's an 80-20 approach, to be honest. Partnerships have been mentioned. I have to build partnerships because without my strategy, partnerships, without it, it won't work. My business can't operate in 5 or 6 different ways to suit 5 or 6 different either customers or suppliers. So we need to find a way to build partnerships with our suppliers. And actually, I say embrace the real issues ahead. I think sometimes, you know, the reality, and we talk about these numbers, but we need to sit down and talk about the real issues. I sat down with, we have a world-renowned manufacturer of toasters, which are basically the width of this room. So imagine the toaster the width of this room, and I sat down and I said, right, okay, this is your challenge. 5 years, I want 3 times the amount of output and 1/3 on the energy. Off you go. And his face went white. Not surprising, it's quite a challenge to be fair. But the reality of that is that that's the type of discussion we need to be having so we can get there. And finally, this is one that's maybe a bit more because we need more people on the journey. You know, there's a lot of small enterprise businesses. Okay, we can afford to do that, but just about. But they'll need support to join in. You need to sell the case. We need to sell the case and make it happen. Otherwise, we all know the story about the emperor and his milk in the fountain. We're only ever going to get water from the fountain. Thank you.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you very much. Good stuff. Thank you. Good stuff. Very good.